Good morning, or good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. This is a story about Jim Henson and his generosity toward me on the 40th anniversary of one of the most wonderful things that ever happened to me. 40 years ago, Easter, 1984, I was guest of honor at the White House, and I'll show you that picture. Hopefully you can see this and there's not too much glare. Here, let me turn these off. Maybe we won't have as much glare. Okay. And you can see there I am reading the Easter program, posing for this picture with the Fraggles and Fozzie at the White House. And we're reading the program. That's right here. And this is a letter from First Lady Nancy Reagan that I'll tell you about in a moment. How this happened was all Jim. Kindness upon kindness upon kindness. In 1983, the phone rang. It was the White House, and they were calling 117 East 69th Street, the home of the Muppets and Henson Associates in 1983. And the White House was calling to ask Jim Henson to be the guest of honor at the Easter at the White House celebration because President Reagan loved the Muppets comic strip, and it was the first comic strip that he would read each morning. So he wanted Jim there, and Jim said, "Oh, but that's the comic strip." He deflected. He said, "That's the comic strip. That's Guy. Guy should be your guest of honor for this celebration." And so I got the call from the White House telling me that I was going to be guest of honor at all the Easter festivities and the dinner afterward. And so things started rolling. The generosity that Jim showed me was the same generosity and kindness that he showed every single person that he not only worked with, but that he interacted with his entire life. The greatest moment for an American can be to be invited to the White House. No matter who the president is, oh my goodness, I mean, I'm a nobody. And that happened. And on top of it all, this letter from Nancy Reagan that came a couple of weeks after the appearance told me that I was going to be put in the Smithsonian as a national treasure. And there I am, forever, next to a lot of Jim's original Muppets. Forever. Because of kindness upon kindness. The only reason I'm anywhere is because people were not only kind to me, but kinder than kind. And Jim's generosity, his kindness, is something that has inspired me my entire life. I have tried in vain, because I'm not Jim, to be as good as I could ever be to everyone that I worked with. I've stumbled, I've fallen, I've had my ups and my downs, but I've always tried to be kind. Because the only reason any of this ever happened, this, and everything else, everything that led up to it, was because of the kindness of others toward me. And I wanted to take this 40th anniversary to just reach out to you and ask you to think about the things that we say and the things that we do. Take a moment, take a couple of breaths. We all have anxiety, we all have stress, but this firebox right here that I'm speaking to you on, there are a lot of keyboard warriors that say all sorts of hateful things and things that hurt people. And we all have our bad days, but there's no reason to take that out on anybody else. What truly says a lot about you and about me and about all of us is how we interact with each other every single day. There are so many opportunities that we all have to be kind. There are so many stresses in our lives. There's violence. There's war. There are personal stresses, medical things, emotional things, family things, economic things, work. We're all in this same humankind. I wish we wouldn't call it the human race. That sounds like we are racing and we'll do anything to win. Why don't we call it humankind? And remember that kindness can change lives. It certainly changed mine. So the best way that I can honor Jim and my mother and Walter Lance and Mort Walker and gosh, I'd have an Academy Award speech here if I went through every single person that was kinder than they had to be to get me anywhere. I try my best to emulate Jim, and of course I fall down. I'm not him. I never saw him be cross. I could see sometimes that he was waiting his opportunity to chill everybody out. I saw that. To chill me out. I felt that. Let's please honor Jim and everyone that's ever been kind to you by passing along that kindness to others. We have such stressful lives. But we can find it within ourselves, the seed of love that will blossom, if we only give it the time each and every single day that it needs to blossom. Happy Easter. Remember that we all carry Jim's magic within us. Right here. And right here. I love you guys. Happy Easter.